15-Minute Mondays, your kickstart to week high-energy 15-minute episode on the Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Daniel Greg Johnson. Let's get right into it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back on the Success Blueprint. I hope you didn't think that I was gone because there was no episode on Monday. Apologize for that, but had an electricity issue, 5 days without electricity, so I had to skip, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean that I'm gone. I'm still here, and we're carrying on with a 15-minute Monday as per usual. And by the way, this is episode 99. We got one more to go to the 100th episode birthday of the Success Blueprint and the 15-Minute Mondays. And I couldn't have done it without you. Your continuous support, your feedback, your input on episodes, and for you engaging with me, encouraging me to carry on. Sometimes it can be a bit of a lonely journey because you always talk to yourself. But at the end of the day, I talk to you too because it is for you and it is all about you and not about me. And that's why I enjoy this so much. And if it only helps one person at a time, that's enough for me. So here we are, next 15-Minute Mondays. Today, revolutionizing habits, breaking the chains, and building unstoppable momentum. And we're going to not waste any time and get right into it. What if I told you that your daily habits, the ones that you hardly notice, are either the silent architects of your success or the hidden barriers holding you back? Imagine waking up every morning feeling that your routines are fueling your ambitions rather than chaining you to mediocrity. Today, I want to dive with you into the science and secrets behind habit formation, how you can break the bad, supercharge the good, and finally step into the momentum that lasts. Because at the end of the day, many people, they have a lot of motivation, but I always say motivation is worth nothing. It's a dwindling emotion, and it only adds value if we manage to convert the motivation into the discipline for change, to implement habits and actions that then after a while become second nature, and then form new habits that are free from the old ourselves and from the procrastination and looking at things that are more comfortable. And that is what it's all about. Motivation only helps when we manage to turn it into the discipline to implement new behaviors, new habits to replace the old ones and the ones that serve us no longer. So, all right, let's talk habits. Habits are the invisible hands that shape every decision, every achievement, and every missed opportunity. And that's a big one, missed opportunity in our lives. The incredible news? Well, you don't have to be stuck in old self-defeating patterns. This episode is your ticket to rewriting your habits and with them, your future. Today, I want to be talking to you about the science behind habit formation and sharing 5 powerful techniques to help you break those chains and build unstoppable momentum. And by tapping into the science of habits, you can reclaim control over the small actions that drive momentous results. And what's the deeper meaning behind that? Well, we all have that one habit, or maybe several even, that feels impossible to shake, right? But what if I told you that the problem isn't the lack of willpower or motivation? Instead, it's often about misunderstanding how habits work in the brain. Habits are shortcuts our brain creates to conserve energy, which means they are hardwired to feel automatic. That's why we don't even always recognize that it's there, that behavior, that it's there, and that we actually just doing something and following an autopilot, a shortcut of our brain. And here's the secret about it. Once you understand the psychology of habits, you gain the power to transform your behavior, and that in ways you never thought are possible. By unlocking this understanding and bringing it to bear, to awareness, you can replace outdated habits with ones that propel you forward and really, for good, eradicate the ones that serve you no longer. But it needs discipline. That means motivation is not enough. We need to translate that motivation into discipline. Imagine the impact of harnessing the full power of productive habits while casting aside those that hold you back. Today I want to discuss with you how to break down these habits by identifying triggers, reframing your mindset, and setting up the right cues. Whether you're aiming to stop checking your phone every 2 minutes, which is an illness, get better at planning, or kickstart a morning exercise routine, in this episode, there will be the tools that will help you to take back control. And what will be the ultimate payoff? Well, by the end of this episode, you will have a step-by-step framework to build habits that serve you, not sabotage you. With the right strategy, these techniques can revolutionize not only your productivity, but also your mindset, confidence, and even relationships. These strategies are about more than productivity. They're about stepping into a way of life that aligns with the best version of yourself. So are you ready to break through those barriers and create momentum that lasts? Well, then follow the 5 tips that I'm giving you right now. First, identify your triggers. Every habit has a trigger, something that sets it in motion. This could be stress or boredom or even the time of day. Maybe you're not a morning person. Maybe you're not a person for late stuff, and then you get into those bad habits to compensate for it. Begin by noting down when and why your habit kicks in. And we're talking about the bad ones. Once you know the trigger, you can start to disrupt the cycle. For example, if stress drives you to grab a sugary snack or something like that, or make you eat a pizza that you shouldn't, you can replace that urge with a 5-minute meditation instead. Or you could say, I'm going to go for a walk. By observing these patterns, you start recognizing the origin of your actions, giving you the insight needed to rewrite the habits. It's good to have a journal for that. Journals are powerful for all aspects of life. A lot of people still don't want to do it, but I can guarantee you a journal will change your life. Number 2, replace, don't erase. Trying to simply eliminate a habit without replacing it is like leaving a vacuum for your brain. It's going to try to fill it with something else. So you're just going to swap it out with a new action that offers a similar reward. But instead of scrolling through social media first thing in the morning, try reading a page from an inspiring book. In this way, you keep the reward intact, but align the habit with your goals. And it's not about denying yourself, but about redirecting that energy so that you refrain from just filling the void with another bad habit. Number 3, make small, sustainable changes. I cannot mention that and highlight it enough. People go too fast when they want to make change, and then it becomes overwhelming, it becomes a chore, it's not authentic. We need to make small adjustments to ease into it. And it doesn't always have to be something that is unpleasant. And when we take small, sustainable steps, then we can achieve long-lasting and sustainable change. We often set goals that are way too big, and that is exactly the reason why they fall apart. Aim for tiny but consistent actions, and instead of deciding to work out for an hour daily, start with 10 minutes if you haven't done it before. Small changes are easier to maintain, and over time, they compound into significant improvement. Think of these small steps as building blocks. Each one is a piece of a much larger and stronger foundation. Number 4, design an environment that fuels your goals. Your environment is powerful, and it's a powerful influence for your habits. Arrange it to support the behaviors you want to see more of. For instance, if you want to drink more water, keep a water bottle at your desk or set a reminder on your phone. Simple tweaks can make following through on habits feel nearly automatic. By making these shifts, you create an atmosphere that nudges you toward your goals without needing to rely on sheer willpower. You are creating an environment that is conducive to what you want to achieve. And I'm telling you one thing, if that means changing people around because they don't serve you, they don't motivate you, or they don't tell you the good things, they don't help you to achieve your goals, well, then you best swap them out too. Because there's nothing worse than an environment in which you cannot thrive, and that also starts and comes down to people. So if it is people that you need to remove so that you can thrive in your environment, then you best do that as well. Number 5, track your progress and reward yourself. Accountability is key to sustaining a habit. Track your wins, no matter how small they are. That's important so that you got something to look back. It also shows you that you have overcome challenges. It helps you to understand there was a solution before. I had a blueprint to implement a better habit. I can do it again. That's really important so that you know there is movement and there is progress. Habits are reinforced by reward, so don't overlook the importance of treating yourself after sticking to your plan. This doesn't have to be extravagant. Even a mental well done or a quick note of gratitude works. Acknowledging progress fuels motivation, building positive reinforcement around new habits. And what's the payoff? Well, changing habits isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Each small win is a step closer to the best version of yourself. The tools I've covered with you, those small little steps, are designed to help you break free from patterns that no longer serve you and build routines that drive you toward the future that you really want. And remember one thing, there's one thing that I want to highlight again. You're not a slave to your habits. You're the architect of them. Imagine what's possible when each action, each choice aligns with the vision you have for your life. That's the power of intentional habit building. So how about you? Are you ready to be the architect of your own habits? If you found value in this episode, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who could use a habit reset. And let's start a small little revolution of productivity and positivity. I want to tell you that these episodes are always supposed to be short. But if you take the 5 steps, if you really follow through with that, this episode is massive because it requires change. There's one secret to the 1% of people that make the change. And that is why most people are incapable of change, because they will listen to this episode, they will be motivated. Exactly what I told you in the beginning. But the key is to use that motivation and convert it into discipline. And discipline would be, and I'm talking to you right there, discipline is not just being motivated and thinking, oh, this was nice, this was great, got something to look forward to. No, when you got a quiet minute, sit down. Analyze the episode, write the things down. Those 5 tips, they can only work for you if you break them down in the context of what you are trying to achieve. So if it's habits of work, then it needs to be broken down like that. If it's something about your relationship, then you have to break down the episode in context of your relationship. And you have to take those 5 steps and sit down, do some deep reflection, some focused work on how do I apply these 5 points to this habit that I want to change. That is why 15-minute Mondays are so much more. If you really want to do this, this is work. This is like a weekend of work, really taking some time and putting some deep reflection in, and then to come up with the solution and the new habits, and then having the discipline to really follow through with it. That is why these episodes are so powerful, but why 9 out of 10 people, and I hope that you don't belong to those 9, are going to fail in changing anything about their life after listening to this episode. So the choice is yours. I'm not forcing anything down your throat, but for me, when I go onto a podcast or I look at something online that has to do with self-development, I will look at it, I will take it, I will internalize it, go over it again, watch it 2-3 times, then I will sit down. And whatever problem I'm trying to solve or something that I want to learn or unlearn, I will then use this episode in context and I will do deep work and then find the tools to apply. Because otherwise, it's the same thing. We just read one book after the next and it's all just motivation. We listen to one after the next episode of something that motivates us. I would say, a paragraph in a book that inspires us. But how many of us actually really do something with that? And that is where it comes in. This is what I've changed for myself over the last 4 years. Deep reflection, doing the work, not only getting motivated by a quote on Instagram. No, but when it speaks to me, to identify and investigate, why did this particular quote speak to me? Why was this so impactful? And then not just let it dwindle away, but use it for constant transformation and sustainable change. And this is when all of this becomes a game changer. So I'm asking you again, are you going to be one of those 9 people that will walk away motivated from this and then just carry on with their life, get back onto autopilot and then just let it dwindle? Or are you going to be that one person that is going to make a change? If you are that one person, I would love to have a comment from you on social media, on my MindWorks coaching Instagram account. Even here in the show notes, there is a fan button where you can leave a message. I want to hear from you. Are you that one person? And you don't have to write me much about it. Just tell me, I am the one. Put it somewhere where I can see it, and then I will know that you will definitely make the best of this episode. And that was it, short and sweet. The 15-Minute Monday is back. I hope I see you next Monday. It's a special one. It's episode 100 of the 15-Minute Mondays. And that is absolutely incredible. I love it. That's something that is really empowering, and I could have not done it without you. That means the 15-Minute Monday by itself is almost 2 years old, and I'm very excited about that. Thank you for your time, taking time out of your day to come back to my podcast. I really appreciate you right there. Although I don't know your name because I don't have software yet that tells me that you are listening and then sends me a notification, but you can. I believe in you. I believe you can change. I believe that you can put habits in place that are better and that serve you better. Now go out there, rock this week. This is Daniel, your host on the Success Blueprint. With my promise, I'll be back. Take care.